I'm Carson Wofford. I go to East Lincoln Academy and I'm with Mayor's Youth Council. Well, let's say the pledge. Okay. Dear Lord, thank you for this day and thank you for bringing us here safely, and just please help this meeting to go as you plan, and just please help everyone to be safe on their way home, and just please help everyone to have a Merry Christmas, and in Jesus' name I pray, amen. Yes, sir.
Coming up soon, like tomorrow?
Wednesday.
Wednesday. Could you sing happy birthday? All right. And you are?
I am Nick Thornton, and I go to Brandon High School, and I'm also here with Mayor's Youth Council. And today I'm going to be saying the pledge. Attention, salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. Appreciate the work that you do. I know it's sometimes a struggle this year, but we're getting through it. We've got some other activities coming up where we'll get all that time in to satisfy those requirements. At this time, we'll open it up for public comment. Is anyone here this evening that would like to make public comment before the board? All right, board, I have a couple of announcements. One pertaining to the senior center. We're looking out in time, and our goal, Angela Pryor and I have talked about this, looking at February 8th to be a target date to begin to open it back up. I know many seniors will enjoy those exercise classes and other activities that go on in the senior center. That date was chosen. The courts, again, to remind everybody in the audience, the Rankin County Court, Chancery Court, and Circuit Court are using this building for a courtroom to maintain social distancing in the big room in there. They will need January and the first week of February. So we're hoping to kick off the senior center activities again February 8th. A long time coming. I provided the board tonight with a listing of what the Christmas lights at Quarry Park have done as far as donations. Board, I can tell you personally, I didn't want to take any donations, and you'll see a 0 on Friday. 12:30 Friday night, laid down and kind of came to me that you really should respect the giver, and if someone wants to give you something, you should accept that gift in like kind, and with just as much joy as is given. So we don't want to deny anybody any joy. So we did set up and begin to take donations as people come through that, and some of that's been pennies and nickels and dimes and quarters and all this kind of stuff that children would do. And I can just tell you, personally, from the number of children I've seen looking out windows and smiling big, a lot of them have come back around the second time. The number of senior adults I've seen where people are going and getting their parents and getting them out, something they haven't been able to do for a long time. That is extremely rewarding. I want to tell you about one story that I had. I've been out there every night. This is the first night I've missed, and I'll be heading out there when we get done with this meeting. So I'm sitting there picking on parents and children. You know, every 10th, 12th car is someone that recognizes me. I've got all that hunting gear on, stay warm out there in the rain. and I've thoroughly enjoyed that. One night a clunker comes through, and I'm about 100% sure this family is not looking tonight on live stream or anything else. A car that you wonder how it made it there and how it's going to make it home. It had 2 adults in the front and 2 children in the back. The children, boy and girl, probably 7 and 8, 8 and 10, something like that, but young, very, very young. So a lot of these people come through with children in the back. One night we had a Suburban came through. I think they had 6 or 8 kids in the back, all of them with pajamas on, you know, and I hit the parents and say, you know, I don't see any ice cream on that back seat. This would be a good ice cream. Y'all go get some ice cream and come back, and kind of put it on the parents. They're, oh yeah, it's ice cream, ice cream. So I did this to this clunker car. This clunker car comes by. You know, sometimes it gets a little slow later at night. And I say, hey, you know, I'm looking on the back seat. I don't see any ice cream back there. And little boy spoke up, just as happy as he could be, and said, we got to go to Waffle House tonight. And I got all of the Parks and Rec people together and the next morning and shared that with them. You know, for those children and that family, I'm not dissing Waffle House because I eat at Waffle House, but for that family, that was a big night to be able to go out and eat at Waffle House. And it's making those impressions on these people that don't have a lot. It really meant something to that family, and there have been many others like that. And I can tell you, I felt pretty small at that moment, and I used that story with Public Works and Parks and Rec folks to let them know. And when I told them that, at that moment, that next morning, because we have 9 o'clock meetings every morning to fix the problems we had the night before, the room got just as quiet as this room. And I want to impress upon you that there are a lot of people that are hurting out there everywhere. We all need a little joy. We need to find joy, and we need to share it with one another. And we need to keep many, many people in our prayers, because it really is hard times out there. But it's a good thing that the Parks and Rec folks, they've had assistance from Public Works, from the police department, from the fire department to get that done out there. I hope it will turn into an annual tradition that I would like to call the 12 Days of Brandon. And we'll have Christmas lights all the way up to Brandon, a drive-through program that you don't have to get out, you don't have to give a penny. All you got to do is find some joy and share it with somebody. That's all that's required. Just find some joy and share it. So I've given you a listing of the donations to date. We've got 3 more nights to go. I was surprised the first night when I was out there. The number of probably 120, 140 cars came through in the rain, just telling me that people need to get out and are eager to get out. After the 3rd night in the rain, it dawned on me that I needed to get accurate counts, because we were just doing kind of sort of semi-almost counts out there. I asked Mike Monk at Central Mississippi Planning and Development District, and they put a traffic counter for us at the exit gates on Boyce Thompson, so we will have accurate count numbers at the end of this to report back to you at our first meeting in January. And the rest of this to see how the donations are going. But it's been encouraging. It's been something I think Brandon can be proud of, and I'm very proud of our folks that helped out and have worked tirelessly in the rain out there to make it happen. So your Parks and Rec people are working hard, and that is what you see in front of you is evidence of that, and I really appreciate them. All right, enough of that. All right, so moving on with the agenda. Item 4, approve the regular board meeting minutes of December 7th, 2020. Is there a motion to do that? Motion by Mr. James Morris. Second by Mr. Harry Williams. Any further comment or question on the minutes? All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, like sign. Thank you very much. Okay, under the mayor, request permission to travel to Tuscaloosa and Hoover, Alabama to attend meetings regarding the Parks and Rec Department programs on December 28th through the 30th. I don't know if that'll be 1 day, 2 days, or 3 days. I'm trying to get into a facility in Hoover, and I'm trying to catch up with Red Mountain Entertainment to discuss our programs coming up and our concerts. There are 5 board that we have dates on that I'm not available. I can't give you those dates yet until the agents announce those. We have 7 more that look good, and there's actually 17 on the list right now. So Depending on the capacity issues through the emergency declarations given to us by the governor of the state of Mississippi, will dictate when agents and artists will begin to lock those in and make those public. So please bear with us on that. Okay, is there a motion to allow me to travel over to Alabama? Motion by Mr. Lou Coker, second by Mr. Chris Vincent. Any further question or comment? All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, like sign. Thank you very much. Miss Angela Bean.
May I take all three of these items together?
Yes, ma'am.
The first item is acknowledge Carol Joseph's last day of employment, which is December 29th. She will be relocating out of state. Second item, request permission to renew the property, auto, and equipment insurance with Travelers for 2021 in the amount of $147,643 and authorize the city clerk to execute all related documents. And number 3, consideration to approve docket of claims for December 22nd and Fox Everett claims released on December 9th and 17th.
Thank you, Miss Angela. Is there a motion to approve those 3 items? Motion by Ms. Talia Dobbs, second by Ms. Monica Corley. Any questions, board? All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, like sign.
Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Angela. Mr. Dodd.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I have one item. It's consideration to approve the preliminary plat for Jasmine Cove Phase 1. This is the subdivision that was previously called Donald Park. It's 55 lots and 14 and a half acres. This is Phase 1 of that development.
Okay. Thank you much. Is there a motion to approve that preliminary plat? Motion by Mr. Harry Williams. Second by Ms. Monica Corley. Any further discussion or comment? All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, like sign. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks. Thank you, ma'am. Mr. Smith.
Good evening, Mayor, Board. Mayor, I have 8 items. I also have a read-in item that I'd like to add.
How do you want to break this? All right, Charles, let's go very slowly. We won't break it. We'll just go all the way through it. And board, if you have a question on a specific item when we get to it as we go through this, just put a star out there and we'll come back to it to address your question. Work for you, Charles?
Right.
Mr. Baker? Okay, go ahead.
Thank you. Item 1 is consideration to approve the following repairs from Hempfield Construction utilizing commodity pricing and authorized payments of the same. 1A is storm drain repair at 104 Park Ridge Drive in the amount of $11,947.65. Item 1B is a water leak repair under driveway at 504 Parker Cove in the amount of $10,593.82. Item 1C is a manhole repair on Valerie Drive in the amount of $5,524. 1D is a water leak repair and meter at the meter and install a 2-inch water meter at 501 Eastmark Drive in the amount of $5,000.07. Item 1E is storm drain repair at 24 Crosswoods Road in the amount of $7,870.14. Item 1F is to replace the 4-inch water meter at Brandon Baptist Church in the amount of $6,401.79. Item 2 is consideration to approve the Hempfield Construction pay request number 1 in the amount of $40,333.40 with regard to the Boyce Thompson Bike Lane project and authorized payment of the same. Item 3 is consideration to approve Suncoast Infrastructure pay request number 3 in the amount of $9,500 with regard to the 2020 Crossgate Sewer Rehab project and authorized payment of the same. Item 4 is consideration to pay Landmark Structures pay request number 13 in the amount of $11,770.50 and pay request number 14 in the amount of $132,428.10 with regard to the elevated water tank project and authorized payments of the same. Item 5 is consideration to declare an emergency the pump rental for Apple Ridge Lift Station from Hydra Services, invoice in the amount of $5,404 for pump rental for the Apple Ridge Lift Station and authorized payment of the same, and authorized pump rental for an additional 3 months pursuant to the memo. Item 6 is consideration to accept the annual joint asphalt bid effective January 1st, 2021 through December 31st, 2021. Item 7 is consideration to approve the utility adjustments and denials pursuant to the memo. Item 8 is request permission to purchase from Davini Equipment, a state contract vendor, a New Holland tractor in the amount of $56,283.12 and a Bush Hog 3810 with a 10-foot rotary cutter in the amount of $18,379.44 and authorized payment of the same. Mayor, I have a single read-in item. Would you like me to take it now or after we deal with the eight?
Go ahead.
This is for consideration to allow the Public Works Department to host a weekly luncheon with downtown business owners who are directly affected by the downtown revitalization projects. Purpose of the luncheon be to allow business owners to ask questions, receive updates regarding ongoing projects. Approximately 20 persons will be invited each week. We anticipate having 12 to 15 meetings. The estimated weekly cost is $350 to $400 depending on the number of participants.
Thank you, Charles. Board, that's my idea. I go through a lot. Mr. Bowers is here with Rankin County News. It seems like I keep answering the same questions over and over, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just we have many people that are impacted by multiple water lines going in, street repairs, sidewalks, traffic delay, and all those kind of things, and it's just good to have a point in time on a weekly basis when we can say, this is where we are right now, this is what's going to be going on this week, this is what we anticipate for next week. And we'll just march on through this for a number of weeks until we come out of this and get our traffic patterns changed and get a lot of that construction work done. So that's the purpose behind this.
And we did estimate that cost based on a high rate of participation. So if there aren't as many people that show up, of course, that weekly cost will go down.
So Mr. Dodd and Mr. Smith came together and found, I think it was 38 potential places that we would have some impact on. They split that in half to minimize the size of that. If you invite 10 or 15, you're likely to get 5 or 6. That's kind of how that typically works. So that's the goal there, to inform businesses in the downtown area the necessity and timeliness of what's going on as quickly as we can.
Where would this be held?
We would rotate amongst the restaurants in the downtown area.
So this is very intrusive work, and we need to do all we can to minimize as much as we can. So that's it. Communicate, better communications. All right. Other questions on the read-in board? Mr. Baker?
No, and it's projected to go for 10 to 15 weeks?
Yes.
I'm going to look up. I'll work on the language.
Got all you need?
I've got one question on another one.
Okay, go ahead.
The pump, the 3-month additional pump rental, so that's up to, depending on if you get your permanent pump back, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, the status of our existing bypass pump is not yet determined. It's an older pump. The pieces that burned up the control panel are not available.
Well, I understand. I just want to make sure if we get it back in 6 weeks, I'm
Yes.
just going to put in the minutes so we're not obligated for a full 3 months,
Correct.
which would be the 4th month.
Yeah.
Got it.
Month to month as needed.
Charles, on number 8, the tractor and the blue top, are those replacements?
No, they're not replacements. We have one large tractor. Our other tractors are various sizes. Several of them are smaller. We have a lot of easements that are not being cut. Part of that is just due to the amount of time and effort that it takes. The larger tractor cuts a lot wider, a lot faster. We only have one tractor of this size and type, and that does have a cab, which, along with just giving you a better working condition, also protects the driver of the tractor. So this would give us two cab tractors that are capable of pulling bush hog of that size. Most of our tractors will only pull a 6 to 7 foot bush hog.
This was planned in the budget.
It is. It's a budgeted item, and it was for that amount.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you for all these questions. Anyone else on all those items that Mr. Smith went through? All right, seeing none, is there a motion to approve 9 items? Motion by Ms. Monica Corley, second by Mr. Lou Coker. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, like sign. Thank you, Charlie.
Thank you, Board.
Go
Merry
get you a bottle of
Christmas.
water. Merry Christmas. All right. So, under Parks and Rec, consideration to approve the 2020 Christmas Parade sponsorship in amount of $1,000 to the Brandon Mayor's Youth Council for the purpose of advertising the opportunities and possibilities of the city. First finding that this mode of advertising is in the best interest of the citizenry. Mr. Baker, you okay with that? All right. Is there a motion to approve that from Parks and Rec? Motion by Mr. James Morris, second Mr. Chris Vinson. All in favor say aye. All opposed, like sign. Thank you. All right, Board, we're going to swap 10 and 11, so I believe we got fire we're going to address first. So
Good evening, Mayor and Board.
Audience, we're on number 11 on the agenda. Okay, good evening, sir.
Number 1, to accept the resignation of Lieutenant Samantha Rayner, effective December 24th, 2020. I assume we would take these all at one time.
Yes, sir.
Request permission to purchase tires for Engine 4, 2008 Pierce Era, and Engine 2, 91 Pierce from Goodyear Commercial Tire, state contract vendor, in the amount of $5,973.68, and authorize payment of the same. Number 3, request permission to transfer equipment from Fire Department inventory to Public Works Department. Number 4, the request permission to declare turnout gear lost or stolen and delete from inventory, and authorize the mayor to execute the related documents.
Thank you, Chief. Is there a motion to approve those 4 items from the Fire Department? Motion by Ms. Talia Dobbs. Second by Mr. Harry Williams. Any further comment or question? All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, like sign. Thanks, sir.
Thank you.
Chief Thompson.
Good evening, Board, Mayor. I'd like to take items 2 through 4 and save item 1 for last.
Go ahead.
Item 2, request permission to purchase 6 in-car radios from Motorola Solutions, a state contract vendor, in the amount of $27,194.50, and authorize payment of the same from the Drug Seizure Fund. Item 3, request permission for the Brandon Police Department to join the Rankin County Multidisciplinary Child Abuse Review Team, and authorize the police chief to execute related documents. Item 4, consideration to approve A and B mechanical pay request number 4, final payment in the amount of $15,096.25 with regard to the PD HVAC mechanical upgrade project, and authorize payment of the same.
Thank you, Chief. Is there a motion to approve those 3 items, 2, 3, and 4? Motion by Mr. Lou Coker. Second by Mr. James Morris. Any further comment or question? All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, like sign. Thank you. All right,
Proceed
number
with the
1.
award, or
Proceed.
Lieutenant French?
So, Board, many parties this year have been canceled, and the annual Christmas party for the Police Department and Court has been canceled, and during that time, they recognize an Officer of the Year. Chief, go ahead.
Yes, sir. As the mayor stated, we normally do an annual Christmas party, PD Christmas party, and that is when we would historically award the Officer of the Year. But due to COVID, we decided to not have our Christmas party this year, but I did want Lieutenant French, your 2020 Officer of the Year, to be recognized publicly. To say he's no stranger to this boardroom would be an understatement. He's been in front of you many times with many of his exploits, if you will, and I'll leave it at that. He started here in 2013, not long after I did, and he's done a lot to contribute to the success the Brandon Police Department has enjoyed. He got the police department accredited in short order, was our first real trained internal affairs officer. He conducted many very sensitive investigations, quickly promoted to sergeant, was a stellar sergeant on the street, and as a better than average narcotics detective. And as previously stated, you know what he is capable of on the interstate. And due to his work on the interstate, a lot of technology and equipment that we would not have been able to purchase is because of your Officer of the Year, Lieutenant French.
Need a speech? Need a speech?
Y'all don't want to hear me talk.
Oh. Congratulations, sir.
Thanks, sir.
Keep up the good work. And thank you for allowing him to work. I know y'all laugh, but I mean, I tell you, public safety takes a toll on it. You good? Okay. Board, at this time, it's not on the agenda, but I'd like to entertain a motion to determine the necessity of being in executive session. Motion by Ms. Monica Corley. Second by Mr. Chris Vinson, begrudgingly. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, like sign. All right, audience, at this time, the board will stay in here, and we'll ask you to depart so we can go into